So
Wait,
yeah,
it's really important?
yeah. So this is really important. When on the topic of books and awareness and knowledge, there's a book that was really impactful to me, and I'm going to start with a caveat, meaning there's going to be parts that annoy you, you're not going to frustrate you, you're not going to understand it. And the book is called Levels of Energy, and it's by, I believe it's Frederick Dodson. I know Dodson's last name, and definitely we'll provide a link.
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's a great book, and basically the concept is this: any person lives on the planet Earth with our consciousness. We live between the levels of 0 to 1,000, and it's an arbitrary measure, but. And it's not to say that 0 is worse than 1,000, it's just a different level of experience that we're all experiencing on the same planet. And again, this is dealing with consciousness and the ways you think about the world and those things. But 0 is basically like hell, for all intents and purposes. 1,000 is divine love, okay? Purity, what we would perceive as God. And then anything in between is what we all experience. So going through the levels, I believe 30 is deep, psychosis, essentially. 50 is apathy. 80 is depression and anger. Going up, I think 190 is pride. 200 is boredom. And so you start to go up these different levels of energy, and those are different. My girlfriend just walked in, by the way.
Woo! Party! Woo! Wait, what level of energy is that?
So fun.
Hopefully above 200.
So I think fun is for fun and joy and those things. I think it's in the 400s or something. So there's different levels or experiences, and we all go through them. The book talks about pockets of energy, where in one area of your life you experience a certain level of energy, and other areas of your life are a little bit higher on the scale.
Huh.
So it's not like you're one level of energy. You might have an average level of the level you're experiencing, but you have different pockets depending on your environment and different cultures in different areas of your life. The reason I bring it up is he gives tangible examples of what a person at 200 looks like. What actions are they taking? What clothes do they wear? What behaviors are they doing? What type of people do they hang out with? And not only that, but how do you lift someone? How do you take someone from depression or anger and lift them up? What words can you use? A really powerful concept that really impacted me from this book was, imagine you have someone that you're dealing with who's angry or depressed, okay? So you approach them, and meanwhile you're in a really good place in your life, okay? So you're coming at them, you're like, come on man, cheer up, you got this. You're sending them motivational, energetic, motivational phrases. I used to be happy around people that are sad all the time, but what I didn't understand is that's too high for them.
Yeah. You have to go to their level.
Yeah, so if they're depressed or they're apathetic meaning no emotion, you can't hit them at a high level of energy because they're not connecting to that. So someone who's apathetic, no emotion, maybe giving them a reason to be angry, which anger I think is 80.
Yeah.
Giving them being on their side, saying, yeah, that guy sucked, that person messed up, blah blah. Giving them that little boost. Now they're experiencing an emotion, and then from the emotion, then you can lift them up into a different place. But to hit them at love or happiness or joy, you're not necessarily striking them at a level or a language they can understand.
Yeah, it'll go right over their head.
Right over their head.
So in sales, it's if someone's swearing at you, you made a cold call or a hot call.
Right.
You don't get mad at them, you get mad with them. You form agreement with where they're at, and then it creates trust, which is the bridge of energy consciousness, we just talked about.
Yeah.
And through questioning, you can actually raise them up to that higher level of decision making. Because they're not going to make a logical decision when they're stuck in animalistic frequency, which sounds like what this book is about.
Yeah.
Fear and desire and pride and apathy and shame and guilt and all that.
Absolutely. And so the reason I found this concept really powerful is we're all going to have different places where we have certain levels of thinking, emotions, behaviors, but recognizing that there is a spectrum and recognizing how we can increase or or take action. Like it actually like inspired me to take action in places. Like how can I in this moment? Okay, I'm reading the quote vibe or the energy of the room. How can I bring it to a higher level? Like this actually gives you a spectrum that then lets you see how you might be able to increase.
Well, remember that example I used with the sun? When
Yeah.
you were in love state,
Yeah.
think of that planet as Mars.
Yeah.
That's the relationship that you have with that person that's in apathy. You're using your passion to burn them up.
Wow. Like,
where they actually push you away.
like burning through the barriers that they're having. Yeah, so
That's profound. What book is it?
The Levels of Energy by Frederick Dodson. And again, like for some people who haven't explored these areas, there's
A
like
certain level of consciousness they may not want to. Maybe they have this.
yeah,
Like,
well, right. So I mean,
what do we do there?
right? You might have
your podcast.
Oh, we can talk about that.
That's where they go.
We'll go to my podcast. That's right. If guys, if you ever have any frustrations or anything, the only solution is my podcast.
I love it.